Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to show you how we can draw all these flower fillers. You can refer to my previous video if you want to learn how we can draw these flower doodles, but today I'm going to show you how we can paint all these as a flower filler. So I'm using this 320 GSM watercolor sheet cold pressed, and for today's video I'm using two different sizes of brush, that is size 2 and size 6 round brush. You can use a little bigger brush, little smaller brush, totally fine, totally up to you as per your comfort. Now let's start with the first one. I'm using size 6 round brush and I'm going to use this brush for most of the flowers. So my first flower is like a group of small flowers combining together and to create something like this. So this is the first layer. I'm using light purple shade for the first layering and creating little C kind of petals combining together, and this is the first layer. So let it dry completely and then we will do some of overlapping with the help of pink color. So you can use whatever color combination you like, but these two color goes really well, pink and purple. So I'm using these two color to create little bushier kind of structure having full of flower petals or flowers into it to create one single flower. But make sure whenever you are doing overlapping, your previous color should have dried completely. With the help of green color, you can use any shade of green. You can try different combination of green. Whenever you combine blue and yellow together, you will get different shades of green based on the quantity of blue and quantity of yellow in it. So you can try different color combination of greens together, create stems and leaves. I'm keeping all these things same like I have shown you in the previous video while drawing those doodles. So my leaves are same, my flowers are same. The only difference is today we are creating all those with the help of watercolor itself. Now we are done with the first one. You can do little bit of fine detailing with the help of pen in the petal area, but totally optional. If you want to, you can do it, like draw some of the petals with the help of pen. So we did this particular flower, the first one. I will show you rest now. As you can see, these two are exactly same. Now let's paint other. So for the second one, we need to create a U kind of shape in green color. In the flower doodle, these things are like we draw everything with the help of pen. That's why we don't able to see all these things, but while doing it with the help of watercolor, we can see like which area is flower petals, which area is like part of the flower, something like that. So this is also the part of the flower, only having green structure in it. Let it dry and we will do some lines in it with the help of dark green color, and with the help of blue color create petals like this in different direction. Do not create every petal in a single direction, create all these petals in a different direction, tilt it towards downward, left and right, something like this. So this is the first thing we need to do, and then with the help of dark shade of green, try to create some flower petals at the tip to make it like these are bloomed flower or open flower. It's quite difficult to create these things when the structure is quite small. These are very small flowers, but the benefit of having these things smaller, you can do any rough kind of structure just to resemble these are the flowers. And you can also create some of the structure in between these flowers to make it little bushier. So assuming we are seeing all these flower from different angle, that's why we are creating something like this. Make sure all the petals are attached with the green element, and we are done with the flower. I think it's beautiful flower. And with the help of green color, create stems and leaves. So in the doodle also I have created leaves a little longer and finer. So for this one I'm doing the same thing. So extend your leaves a little bit while pushing your brush slowly, and remove slowly to get the pointed end towards the leaf. So you can do something like this. And you can do little bit of detailing once the structure gets dried. So I think these are dried completely, so I can add lines like this with the help of dark green color. You can do the same thing with the leaves as well and stems as well, just to make little contrast in the leaves, or you can keep it like that, it's also fine. Now let's create the third one. Third one is also quite simple. We need to create one single petals like this. Just to start with, I'm using pink color, and once you're done with petals like this, uh, in the drawing we did something like this, right? We are going to repeat the same thing, but these are watercolor, right? So you can create structure, round kind of structure inside the petal, and then blend it with the help of clean water, just to avoid any hard edges. And you can repeat this step for all the flowers. So let's do one more time here. Blend it with the help of clean water just to get different shade. Also we can see the round kind of structure inside it, or you can just add little bit of dark shade at the bottom and then create round kind of structure in the middle. So I think we're done with the flowers. Now add stems and leaves for this particular one as well. Now create two big leaf. These leaves are inspired by lily of valley flower, so I thought I should use some bigger leaves here for this particular flower, because the flowers are also inspired by the lily flowers. So let it dry for some time. So we did first three. Now we are going to do the second row, all three together. So now leaves are dried. I think we can add more green shades into it, so I'm adding a little bit of dark green shade. Nothing fancy in here. You can try different other things as well. You can use different shades of green or different shapes of leaves and flower, and you can use all these flower filler together to create greeting cards and other miscellaneous items for yourself. These flower fillers are very useful. Now let's do the fourth one. So fourth one is the most common one and the simplest one. I feel if you know how we can draw these petals while pushing our brush and moving our brush towards left and right, you can draw these flowers easily. Make sure your petal size is different, so you can keep 3 petals bigger and 2 smaller, just to get a little different perspective. For the ovary of the flower I am using black color, at the center and little dots around the ovary. Whenever we create groups, make sure you are having different perspective of the flower. I have created many videos around the perspective, so you can refer to those videos and learn how we can draw these things or how we can paint these things. Now with the help of green color, add stems and leaves. I'm going to share the link for the previous video and my description section, so if you want you can refer to those videos. I'm keeping the leaves little rough and little bigger like we did while doing drawing of these flowers, so I want to keep everything same as previous video. That's why I'm keeping the leaves little bigger. You can keep smaller, you can define your own shape and size, totally fine, and let it dry for some time. Let's do another one. So you can either start with the petals or you can start with the stems. One, I'm going to show you, I have started with the petals, side by side petals, smaller in a sequence, something like this, and then you can add middle stems, all these petals or flower itself attached towards the main stem. Or you can do just opposite, create stems and then attached all the flowers together. This one is inspired by the lavender flower. I'm roughly doing it with the help of purple color. You can try different combination of color as well, and you can wait until your previous petal has dried while doing some overlapping if you want to. I'm keeping the leaves simple, little longer, inspired by the lily family like we did in the previous video. I'm doing the same thing here. You can try something different. As I always say, do not copy everything, try your own imagination and try to do your own version of these things. I think this one is dried now. We can add little bit of detailing in this particular one. I'm adding lines in it. While doing these kind of detailing, make sure your sheet is either about to dry or fully dried. Do not do it when your sheet is damp or wet, because otherwise you will not able to see all this structure clearly. Now let's create the last one. I'm only showing you 6 out of 8, so you can draw rest too by your own. And this one is my favorite. Create 2 petals like this. We did the same thing while drawing it, 2 petals, 2 smaller petal and 2 bigger petal at the base. So I'm using 2 different color, pink and purple. You can use same color also. With the help of purple color, little rough kind of edges in this, little bigger as compared to the upper petals. You can do a little bit of overlapping between the petals. So something like this we have created, inspired by the Irish flower, and little bit of yellow color at the center. I want to bleed all these colors together with each other. That's why I'm not waiting to dry and create stems like we did for other flowers. Not something new wherein I need to explain these things. Create a longer leaves like we did for the previous one. You can define little bit of perspective in your leaves as well. It's very important to get those perspective for the leaves like for the flowers, and create lines like this once your petals gets dried. And I think we're done with all the flowers except the last 2. So I want you to try by your own and let me know how you feel about all these flower fillers. And give me your feedback. Thank you so much for watching.